Welcome to the Spiritually Embodied Leader podcast. I'm Cynthia Gutierrez, the creator of Embodied Freedom, and I love to help conscious, heart-centered, spirit-led entrepreneurs learn how to regulate their nervous system and move through an embodied transformation so they can start and grow their online business with confidence, authenticity, and aliveness for more meaningful income and a deeper impact. On this podcast, we're going to be talking about how embodiment, mindset, subconscious mind, cyclical living, returning to nature, ritual, and ceremony can all play a powerful role in revolutionizing you and your business from the inside out. Now let's get into it. Hey, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so glad to be here again. I felt like I went a bit MIA on the podcast scene because I have been focusing in on a project, an offer that has been lighting me up from the inside out, and I'm so happy to finally be sharing more about it with you. It's called Aligned to Lead, and it's for conscious entrepreneurs, heart-led coaches, and healers who have been struggling with overwhelm, with doubt, and burning out while running their business. It is going to help you discover spiritual embodiment so that you can learn to regulate your nervous system and become the centered magnetic leader that your business is ready for. And I will say this program is much different than your average business course because like most business courses, if you were to look at your business like a tree, most people are trying to grow a thriving business by focusing in only on the branches of a tree that could be categorized as like strategy and marketing, right? Like visibility, growing your audience, filling in your waiting list and signing on clients, things like that, right? But if the roots of that tree that is made up of your nervous system, your energy, your mindset, and the way in which you lead in your business and life is shaky, unstable, maybe neglected in some ways, then the entire tree, especially the fruits of that tree, will not ripen to its fullest potential. And this new group coaching program that I'm putting together called Aligned to Lead is going to help nourish the roots so that your leadership, your voice, everything that you do and produce within your business can grow tall and strong and sustainable and produce amazing, thriving fruit. So I'll be talking more about that at the end of the episode. And if you're already super interested, then check out the link in the show notes of this episode and you can just get yourself signed up to learn more, okay? So today we're going to focus in on one subconscious reprogramming tip that has been a huge game changer for me to release the grip of doubt, fear, and worry, and be able to reorientate myself to a more positive, desirable future and outcome, especially, right? Getting the result that I want. It's become such a helpful manifestation tool. And just earlier this year, I was able to manifest 2 different situations that were of the same particular like manifestation outcome that I was going for. And it was really cool because I was able to take a particular belief that is very common within the coaching like realm, like the coaching sphere circle, if you will, and be able to be like, you know what? Even though that may be true in most cases, I want to do things differently. I want to find a different way where I don't have to live into this particular belief and I can still experience something that I want, but not in the way that is familiar or expected. So, within the coaching community, there is this saying, when someone is ready to go through a transformation and they're willing to invest in themselves, that they need to put down more money than they're comfortable with in order to have like skin in the game, in order to have something where it will help them rise to the occasion and be like, okay, you know what? This is taking a lot for me. It's asking a lot for me. And I'm going to put this investment down to help me rise to the occasion. And you've probably experienced this for yourself before, and I've experienced it for myself. And while that is true and can be very, very helpful, the thing is, where I was coming from earlier this year, I was like, okay, you know what? I really do want to be a part of a new live coaching experience. I want to be in the room with people live where we're coming together as a community in real time, going through the whole process as it is unfolding. And while I was ready for that kind of an experience, I was not willing to overextend myself again financially to the point where I am so stressed that yes, it could pull something out of me, right? It could help me rise to the occasion and become something more than I thought that I was. I just did not want to have that kind of stimulation, activation, stress, adrenaline rush, right? Cortisol coursing through my body for an extended period of time because I'm like, you know what? I am tired of feeling like I don't have enough financially and I have to overwork myself, overdo to be able to meet that expectation in a financial manner. And I was like, you know what? I'm so tired of doing that. Like, I just want to be a part of an experience and feel comfortable and feel like I can breathe financially and feel like, you know what? I can sustain what I have now and still have a coach and a community in my corner to support me and be able to have the capacity to ease and relax when I need to and still be financially responsible, right? And so I was like, okay, even though that old saying of like, you need skin in the game, blah, 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 right? I want to do it a different way. And so I leaned in to asking myself specific questions that would help me to be able to manifest that kind of a situation where I can get into the circle, the community, the coach that I want to, and still be able to financially breathe, still be able to go about business, life as normal, and not have to overextend myself and just keep myself right where I'm at, but still be able to grow in a different way while also nurturing and taking care of myself and responsibilities in the financial aspects of my life and business. So, as I started to really lean into the possibility of that being available to me, I eventually came across two separate programs where they were like, okay, this is a brand new program, right? We're releasing it for the very first time. It's going to be at a massive discounted rate. And if you would like to be a part of this and get an even greater discount on top of the founding member rate, then you just need to share your case study, your transformation that you got to experience from going through the program. And I was like, wow, okay. One, the discounted rate was a little bit of a stretch for me, but it wasn't so far out of my reach where I felt like it was too much for me to handle. And I didn't want to sacrifice my peace and the level of regulation that I have built myself up until that point. And even though it wasn't a big enough price tag for me to be like, okay, I really gotta like make shit happen, right? The thing is, because they put in that one aspect of sharing my case study, my transformation, that in itself was enough skin in the game for me to show up as best as I could. And I was like, wow, how amazing. I didn't have to change so much of my life and my peace and everything that I already got going on for me in order to make something happen. And I was like, wow, I was able to invest in myself twice. And I was able to come in a way that was relaxed and ready and like, wow, okay, I got this. I can do this. And I had enough skin in the game to be able to show up and do my best. And I was just so grateful for those experiences, and which is why I felt really called to pop in and share this particular tool with you, because it has become one of my favorite manifestation tools. And it's called ASKffirmations. So it is spelled differently than affirmations, even though it has the same idea of an affirmation, but it is formatted as a question. So it is called ASKffirmation. It has become one of my favorite practices to go to when I'm feeling stuck, when self-doubt really starts to creep in, or I catch myself in the loopholes of like, oh, I don't know how to do this, therefore it's not possible, or like, why does this keep happening to me? Or like, I do something and I'm already expecting the worst or just it not working out in my favor. So it is different than affirmations, because while affirmations try to convince your brain of a new belief through a statement like, I am abundant, right? ASKffirmations guides your brain to look for evidence because you are asking it a better question. Yeah, it's a question that orientates you toward a possibility, or even better, toward inevitability of it actually happening. Now, if you're hesitating with this idea because maybe your past experience with affirmations might have felt like you were trying to force feed yourself with something that your body, your mind was just rejecting, right? And it might have been too conflicting for you to deal with. I totally get it. I have been there myself because I was also feeling disconnected and inauthentic, trying to convince myself something that I just didn't believe in, right? That my body was just like, what are you talking about? And it's no surprise to me when we feel like we're on the brink of giving up in our business because we just keep finding evidence of it not working out, and you're trying to force feed the idea that it is, but it's like you have all this proof that it's not. But I want you to know that there is another way where you are not forcing yourself to believe something is true. You get to attune your whole self to the possibility and open your field up to let something new to emerge, okay? Because the truth is, the quality of our life and leadership is often determined by the quality of the questions that we're asking ourselves. So if you're feeling like you've been stuck or something's off in your business, especially if you're like, I feel like I'm the problem, right? And you can't really get the offer right or connect with your audience, or you're just like, man, this strategy is just not working out for me, then I want to encourage you to try on this tool, try on the practice of ASKffirmations, because it could really help you get out of that old identity, out of those old rabbit holes, and shift into a new way of being, into a new way of thinking, right? Because ASKffirmations are how we change that pattern and prime your consciousness to seek the solutions and positive outcomes that we're looking for. Sometimes it's not about doing more. Sometimes it's about asking a better question for you to get the clarity needed for you to take the aligned action. Not so much how many actions you can do in a day, but which particular actions are actually going to move the needle forward. Okay, so let's break this down. What are ASKffirmations? ASKffirmations are empowering, outcome-oriented questions that help your brain, body, and energy attune to the result that you actually want. They support you in shifting your self-talk from fear, doubt, or I don't know how, into curiosity, possibility, and energetic alignment. And there are two different ways that you can use ASKffirmations. The first one is future-oriented ASKffirmations, and this will help to open the door to what's possible and look to the side of optimism and positivity. So for example, let's say you're going through a launch, right? And at first you were super stoked and you got off on the right foot and you're posting content, but then like you're not getting the engagement that you're looking for, right? People aren't signing on to the wait list, things like that. And you start to notice these negative what if questions popping up in the back of your mind of like, man, what if this doesn't work out? Like, what if it's not what people wanted? And what if they don't see the value in this? What if I'm just doing a really shit job, right? And it's like we can so easily start to spiral down into these what if negative scenarios. And so the future-oriented ASKffirmations can start to help you stop the negativity loop and ask yourself something that is more positive, right? Like, what if I already have everything I need to succeed with this launch? What if this is happening exactly as it's meant to because I'm supposed to learn something from this? It will eventually lead you to the clarity that you need in order to get over those humps, right? And this is a way that will actually help to regulate your nervous system and rewire those limiting beliefs. It's become so wired and normalized within us to immediately start going down the negative rabbit holes. What if it doesn't work? What if it all comes crashing down? What if I can never get it right? And the thing is, the more that we play into those negative loops, the more cemented it becomes in our way of being. So asking these future-oriented questions in a way that supports us to turn to the positive and say, what if this turns out better than I could ever expect? Right? Like, you never know. If you're going to be playing in the realm of fear, you gotta also play in the realm of possibility, because either one can happen, right? It's just a matter of how much energy and tension you're going to feed either one. And the more that you feed in what it is that you truly want, the likely the possibility it is of you getting it. Now, the second way that you can use ASKffirmations is my favorite, okay? And this is the one that I really want to highlight for this particular episode because it's really helped me to get to the result that I'm seeking. So this is the result-oriented ASKffirmation. It really is the secret sauce of it all. So the result-oriented ASKffirmation puts you, your energy, body, mind, spirit, all of you into the energy of the result already happening, as if it is true and it's something of the past. So some examples. Why did this launch flow so easily? How did I magnetize such incredible clients into this launch? And why was it so aligned for people to say yes to my offer? Do you see the difference? It's not just of like, what if I have everything I need to make this happen? Where you are shifting from the present to a future that you want, and instead placing yourself in the future already, it having happened. So these result-oriented ASKffirmations are especially potent because they train your subconscious to behave as if the outcome has already manifested, which creates congruence between your desire and energy, which is where the magic happens. Because your brain, especially your reticular activating system, will answer every single question that you give it. For better or for worse, okay? It does not know a good question from a bad question. It does not know from unethical to ethical. Whatever question that you give it, unconditionally, it will answer it. It gets curious. It starts to shift your inner dialogue, your energy, even your behavior to match a new possibility because it looks for evidence and patterns to support what you are showing interest and attention for. Okay? Like, for example, let's say you're interested in buying a new car and it's a particular type of car, a particular color, right? With whatever specs and things that you want on it. And once you'd made that decision for yourself, like, you know what, I'm ready for this type of a car. I am in the market for this. All of a sudden, have you noticed that that car in that color starts to pop up more into your awareness? And you're like, oh, wait a minute, there it is. And you're like taking a closer look at it. And you're like, oh yeah, I really like this or whatever. It's like, your brain, your reticular activating system starts to guide your attention to what it is that you are interested in and wanting more of. And even though the city that you live in didn't suddenly have waves of people going out to buy that car in that particular color and start driving wherever you are driving, it's the reticular activating system that is finally pointing it all out to you in various ways. And that is the power of your subconscious mind that we can learn how to work with and be in service to us in a way that we choose. All right, so here's how you can start using ASKffirmations right now in your own business. Bring awareness to a limiting belief, an old story that's been surfacing over and over and over. Let's use content creation as an example, right? And maybe something that you've been noticing in the back of your mind in relation to it might be like, why isn't this working? Or why is it that I'm not getting enough engagement on my content? And I just want to point out to you that if you have been getting the proof and the evidence of why your content isn't working or why is it not getting enough engagement, and you keep being shown why it's not, then that right there is proof to you that ASKffirmations actually do work. Because you're getting the answer to your question. It's just not the kind of answer you actually want. But because you're asking that type of a question that's negative and showing you things that aren't working, then you keep finding yourself stuck in that loop. So, how to break that cycle? You can then flip the frame and create an ASKffirmation that orientates to what you do want. So, one ASKffirmation that can turn it to a positive situation is like, in what ways is this already working in my favor? And even though it might not be producing the result that you're looking for, it is producing a result, right? You can look to your statistics and see how many followers did it reach, how many non-followers, whatever it is. It's helping you stay consistent with your content creation. It is doing something for you. It's just a matter of you paying attention to the positive, the possibility of what it's doing for you. And the other ASKffirmation that I recommend you spend more time on is the past truth ASKffirmation of the outcome already having happened. So, why did my content turn out so much better than I expected? How did I create content that surprised me with engagement? This is asking your nervous system and subconscious mind to imagine that it has already happened, right? That you have already embodied it. And now you're just looking back as to how it came about. And so once you solidify those ASKffirmations, you're going to repeat it to yourself and let it land in your body. And this is not for you to answer the question with logic, with reasoning, with more action. No. This is about clarifying the ASKffirmations and letting it land into your body and repeating it to yourself so that it can soften your shoulders. It can deepen your breath and let you begin to regulate yourself to a new possibility and a new level of leadership. And once you feel like your body and mind have fully received those ASKffirmations, you can then let it go. Walk away, move on to the next thing. Because now your subconscious mind is going to be hard at work without you having to put in more effort to answer that kind of question and reveal it to you. It's going to manifest in real time for you. But it may not manifest as quickly as you'd like, okay? The answer may not come to you by that day. The answer might take a week. It might take a month or two for the answer to fully come to fruition. But I promise you this, your subconscious mind will answer it. So make sure you give it those outcome-oriented ASKffirmations for it to work with. Now, I really want to address some things that might be coming up for you right now, like, what if I have a hard time with the question that I'm asking myself? Like, if affirmations were so hard for you, right, when you're trying to force feed a belief that you're just like, this is fucking stupid, but you're trying out these ASKffirmations and you're just like, still kind of skeptical about it, I just want you to know that you do not have to fully accept the question that you're asking wholeheartedly in order for it to work. Because the beauty of a question is that it doesn't demand belief. It doesn't mean that you have to fully be on board with it because it's just a question. It's just like this what if scenario. It opens a door within your subconscious mind. And over time, the belief or the possibility will catch up to an energetic congruence. And the more that you're able to live into the question of it, open yourself to the possibility of there actually being an answer to the question, the more likely that it is for it to start to show proof one by one, crumb by crumb. And the more that you're like, you see, there's one proof of this particular question. And the more that you are aware of it and acknowledge it, it's like feeding that positive pattern in your mind to continue to seek more evidence of it actually existing. Another thing is that you can also add something to the question to support your process and warming up to it. Like, how did I become open to the possibility of reaching more engagement in my content? How did I become open to the possibility of X, Y, and Z? So it's not even focusing on the result itself, it's helping you become open to it in the first place, which is amazing. And another thing that might be crossing your mind is, what if this is just another form of bypassing a bigger, deeper issue? While I'm not suggesting for you to ignore the deeper issues as to why you might be stuck or things might not be working out, I do want to offer you a new avenue to navigate them in a different way where you don't feel like you're constantly stuck in them. Yeah, because ASKffirmations are not about avoiding or skipping over the issue. It's about creating a bridge between your conscious intention and your subconscious patterning so that you can meet what's even possible for you with more curiosity instead of more pressure. Because when you're stuck in survival or over processing things and you're like constantly healing and trying to do shadow work and this and that, right? You won't always feel safe to jump into a deeper inquiry. But a gentle question like, what if this gets to unfold more easily than I imagined? What if it doesn't have to be so hard? What if it can be effortless? That can invite your nervous system to open just enough to soften the grip of fear and doubt. So this isn't bypassing. It's actually helping you to regulate your nervous system. Because when we find ourselves in fight, flight, freeze, fawn, mostly fight or flight, okay? When we find ourselves in a dysregulated nervous system, there's something that happens called a negativity bias. And when we are switched on to seeking out threat in order to survive in any way, shape, or form, our nervous system and the way we perceive the world will immediately start to first notice the negative aspects, the thing that can be a threat to our existence or a threat to our sense of safety. And when we're so busy scanning for threats, we are not tapped into our creativity, our intuition, our sense of safety. We are automatically in that zone of overprotecting ourselves. And when we're overprotecting ourselves, we're not wanting to extend past our comfort zones. We're not wanting to push through the fear. So if you're ever caught up in the loop of overprocessing or doing the deep work without movement, without progress, without action, maybe what you really need isn't more processing. Maybe what you need is to get out of that fix-it loop and find a new way to the solution that you're going after in the first place, where the block that you once were hyper-focused on has no more power anymore. Because the ASKffirmations are like dipping your toes into the shallow end of the pool without having to dive into the deep end first, right? They don't take away the depth of that side of the pool, but it helps to make it safe enough for you just to enter the water. And when you shift into the belief that your nervous system gets to feel safe while you grow and while you walk the edge of your comfort zone, that is really when the transformation can finally stick because it becomes accessible for you. ASKffirmations aren't quick fixes to help you bypass deeper work. It just helps to interrupt the negativity spiral before it derails you, before it distracts you from the aligned actions that you're meant to take. They invite you into a resourced type of leadership instead of a reactive one. It cultivates more responsibility, where you are able to respond in a way that you prefer, that you choose, in a way that empowers you to step up to the plate. And lastly, you may be thinking, what if I'm having trouble with this whole ASKffirmation thing? Like, I get it conceptually, but trying to restructure it into a question, I still don't understand. I want you to know that this is a new way to approach something, a problem that you might have been dealing with for a while. Okay, and that was not taught to us at a young age. So it's okay if it feels foreign and you're having a hard time practicing it or wrapping your head around it. And I just want you to know that you're not alone. And you shouldn't have to go about it alone either. There is support out there for you. And so I want to encourage you to connect with the people and find your community that can support you with this. This is one of the many techniques that we're going to be diving into inside of Align to Lead. And it's the perfect place for you to get support from me as well as the community as we all come together to transform and elevate in our business and life. If today's episode sparked something for you and you feel super interested in diving deeper into this type of practice, then I want to invite you into the deeper work of becoming an impactful, regulated, and magnetic leader in your business and life through spiritual embodiment. Join me inside Align to Lead. It's my new intimate group coaching program for conscious, soulful, heart-led entrepreneurs, coaches, and healers who have been having issues with constant overwhelm or scattered energy, that find themselves in burnout cycles that has been really hard to break free from, and have been feeling disconnected from their intuition as well as their body and struggling to lead authentically. Then I want you to know Align to Lead is where we begin to shift that from the inside out, where you'll learn how to reconnect with your body and regulate your nervous system so that leadership becomes grounded, joyful, and intuitive again for you. This is where we are going to energetically recalibrate, and you'll be able to shed the old patterns that kept you spinning your wheels and start building from a place of inner clarity and centeredness. This is where your business stops feeling like a drain and starts becoming a true expression of your spirit. You'll finally lead with presence and power. Your decisions will feel anchored and grounded, and your energy, above all, will be sustainable and stable. Your intuition will be back online, and you will be able to show up with more confidence and be able to co-create in your business with more flow, and your leadership will finally match the kind of business and life that you actually want to live. You will get to feel like you again, but more empowered and radiant and aligned than ever before. This is the inner work that's going to make the outer results real and lasting. So please note that I'm going to open the doors on August 15th, and I'm going to welcome in 10 founding members into this round. And as a founding member, you're going to get this brand new experience at the best investment that it'll ever be. You'll be part of the core foundation of this entire program because I will be working closely with you as we are co-creating this together, and I'm creating this entire program in real time. And as a founding member, you're going to get lifetime access with all updated version of it as they become available. So it's a one-time investment with lifetime access. And if your body feels a yes and you feel like a pull from your heart, then I invite you to join the priority list for Align to Lead. Because when you're on the priority list, you're going to get the full details of this entire program, and you will also be at the front of the line to claim your spot. So before I even share this on my podcast, before I share it on my social media, even to the broader newsletter, like my mailing list, I'm first going to tell everyone on my priority list all of the details of the program and giving you first access once the doors open. Once the 10 spots are filled, I'm going to close the doors. So I want to make sure for those of you who are super interested in this and want to just have the opportunity to sign up and get one of the 10 founding member spots, then you will be notified first when you're on the priority list. And of course, the link to sign up is in the show notes below, and I can't wait to see you in there. I am so excited to open up the doors for Align to Lead, because that is going to be the container, the experience that helps you to come home to the leader your business and your mission has been waiting for. All right, thanks again for tuning in to the Spiritually Embodied Leader podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. May this podcast continue to activate the spiritually embodied leader within you. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to take a screenshot, share it on your stories, and tag me at embodiedfreedom.biz. If you'd like to express your appreciation, please rate the show and leave a review on iTunes. I'm looking forward to connecting again soon. Take care.